the help, the other helpers' names.
And our son, Keaton.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good. So we'll get started, and I think what we'll do is we'll try to cut it off right before the hour, just give people time to get settled before the next seminar. But I'll leave you to start, Brittany. Thank you again.
All right, so Brittany, I am going to spotlight you, and then everybody can see you.
That is perfect.
Excellent. And maybe about 5 minutes before the end of your session, I'll send you a little message just to give you a warning. Okay? Excellent. And you might be muted because I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, perfect.
Sound check. If I'm over here, can you still hear us?
Yes.
That's good. You got room.
Right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to camp. My name is Brittany Tatum. It's my fiance, Brandon Searles, our son, Keenan, and our really good friend, Sean, and a motorcycle going by. I hope you got that too. We're going to close the garage. This morning, we're going to warm you guys up, focusing today on mass attacks, the mindset behind surviving a mass attack, and the idea. Okay, 1 second. Hold on. And there we go. And the idea of taking our blocks and not just using them as shields, but using them as offensive strikes. If you're wondering what's going on here, I am healing a tattoo. So we see it's and shiny. And for anybody that has art underneath their gis, you know what that's like when it's scraping. So start us off today. We're going to warm up. We're going to be moving around using striking set, blocking set. We're going to be doing some front crosses, some rear crosses. We're going to be utilizing elongating circles with claws. And we're going to be going over 5 swords. I know we've done it, but we're going to make it interesting. Shielding hammer, possibly grip of death and leaping crane. We'll see where we get. All right, everybody ready? Line up. Right, down low. All right. All right, ready. Right, left. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, ready? Rear snapping ball kick. Move. Come on, you guys. Move. 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 Switch. Move. Switch. Switch. Horse dance. Mr. Searles, can you lead us through striking set?
Okay, we're going to count through it.
Yep.
First time, right? Right side. Punch. Roll. Punch. Roll. Punch. Roll down. Punch. Roll down. Punch. Roll up. Punch. Roll up. Punch. Roll down. Punch. Roll down. Together. Punch. Roll up. Punch. Roll down. Punch. Roll up. Punch. Roll down. On your own. Boop.
Put it up.
Nice.
All right. Okay, one. Okay, let's get us through some activation.
Absolutely.
5 swords.
So little preview of concept we've been working on of activation. And that is, we need to understand the body dynamics behind our blocks so that we can make them not just defensive, but offensive. 5 swords, for instance, as she comes in with a roundhouse, if I'm trying to absorb all of this with my arms, even if my mass is bigger than hers, I'm going to be put at a disadvantage. So I need to learn how to activate my skeletal joints and muscular structure from the ground up so that I have not only the backup mass behind it, but I have a surge of power that is not absorbing, but it's actually attacking. So the difference being, again, as she comes in with a hard strike, right? I absorbed that. There was I stopped the danger. I didn't get hit, but I absorbed. Versus if I channel the power up, activate out, now she's the one who's disrupted. So just a brief exercise we're going to do to help us feel this activation so that we can then apply it to the rest of the techniques we're going to do. For those who are at home, for those who are in the dojo, perhaps your office, if you're able to, if you have floor, I want you to, in a moment, I'm going to have them demonstrate getting to push-up position. If you don't have the space on the floor, that's okay. You can get against a wall and give yourself enough lean that you feel your body behind your arms. So, gentlemen, if you would, let's see if they can, yeah, you can still see, right? Get into, I want to be like a perfect push-up position, right? Body straight. For those who are participating, same thing. I want you to now close your eyes and feel what muscles, what skeletal structure is being activated right now to maintain your body structure. You should feel it in your arms. We're going to break these into 2 categories, our pushers and our pullers. Our triceps, our chest, our pushers, our biceps, our back, our pullers, and they're always supporting each other. One is giving and the other is supporting. Now, do 1 push-up, everyone, just 1 push-up if you can. On your knees is fine, right? Now, I want you to, if you can, on your palms, rock up to the knife and feel that skeletal structure behind it. Good. Now go down, 1 more, down to a plank position where you're on your elbows. Yep, all the way down to the elbows. Perfect. And back up. Back up. Now, everyone just close your eyes and feel those muscles which were activated. And I want to give a mental exercise now of, and pair up, we'll pair up, but a partner if you have one. I feel now the muscles, the skeletal structure that was necessary for that. I'm going to see my activation point as not my hands as the weapons, but my elbows. My elbows are going to be the power source. My hands and my arms are just an extension, as if a socket on a wrench that I have on my tool, which is my elbows. So I can feel the muscles, the back supporting the triceps that are now going to, and we'll trade, going to activate through. As she comes in, I'm going to do what would be my 5 swords, but I'm going to activate this and cut through the circle.
You really feel it. And part of the reason why we feel it's important to start it out this way is because, as you guys can see, I'm the shortest person in the room. And oftentimes we get people, practitioners that say, well, Kempo doesn't work, or Kempo only works if you're a bigger person, or you've got, as a smaller person, you've got to muscle your way through. This man, even though he's my fiance, he doesn't give me anything. And if you watch, let's go ahead and come to me. Yeah, if I wait in a mass attack, right, and I might not even get all of 5 swords, but if I treat 5 swords like I'm in a technique line, and I assume that my attacker is going to go ahead, leave his arm there, number one. Or if I only want to get past this so that I can flourish and get the rest of the technique, I could be dead. He could, if I go in, go ahead and grab once. Now, I'm in a very compromised position, right? Height, width, and depth are all gone. So if I can activate, I can cut his circle. I can disrupt not just his attack, right? But his mindset. Because what I want to do, hopefully break the arm. If I can't break the arm, I want to make it so ridiculously painful. I want to put all of my energy, all of my intent, so that he knows when I connect, I'm not going to stop. And here's the difference. So technique line, right, where we assume that our uke, our dummy or whatever, they are going to just leave it there, right? Go, one, third. Okay. Now let's cut the circle. Right? Can we see the difference? Right? From there, I can continue moving forward, destroying his foundation. And if I've got multiple attackers, they've just seen that intent, right? Any fans of Jack Reacher out there? One of our favorites. So let's partner up. I want you guys to feel the difference.
Yep.
As Brandon was saying, right? There's hammering, and then there's dropping in and disruption. So,
Elbows.
yep, elbows. Let's work that back and forth a little bit. Okay, any questions so far? All right, we're good. We're good. And make sure you key out. Right, for those of you practicing at home, get that breath in there. Nice. So, Ian, let's see if you did it. Okay, so what we want to do, right, we want to also strike the nerves. For those of you that have done knife set, right, or practice with any of the weapons, very similar to our Tyrannosaurus Rex, staying within our figurating, staying within our fusion into our bodies. We're feeling it in our lats, and we're structurally sound in our lowercase. Nice. One more time. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. All right, let's move on. Let's take the same concept, because we're gonna wind this into a mass attack situation in a minute. Let's look at shielding hammer. Okay, so shielding hammer, right in your knee. Right? That's okay. I'm coming up in the circle, meeting the circle as it's here. But what I want to do is, again, I want to disrupt. Yep. So we're here. And granted, for those of us that are smaller, I know that this is like, now I'm really smaller, but that's okay. Right? So I can drop. Right? And really expand and explode, right? So we're imploding and we're really, and this gives us the opportunity, if we need to continue to go in, if we need to survey, he's disrupted. All right, let's work that. So partner up. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Just as we did the elbows out, still feel it from the elbows.
Yep. All right, work it back and forth. So, sorry.
Nice.
Right, we want the clear arm, right, so we're attacking the nerves. Remember ABC, right? If somebody is going to extend an opportunity for a bridge, what do the Kempoists do? All together, we break it. Break that arm. Break it. Yeah, whatever. Let's hit that nerve, okay? Really explode the arm. Is your key out? Oh. There. Nice. Feel that? All right. So can you do it? Nice. Yep. It's okay. Right, let's just do that one move. Make yourself into the apex of the triangle opposite him, and you're going to something all the way back, we're gonna step and slowly come, right? You step and drop, just do that one move, ready, go. Better, okay, go in for his elbow and right in here. Yep, stand up, ready, one more time. Nice, all right, okay. So what we're gonna do, is we're gonna take the idea that we've got in the hacker. Brandon, coming this way. Sean coming at me from over here. And again, this is ideal phase stuff, right? We're gonna move as fast as we can and explain it as well as we can, with the idea that we know that mass attacks, situations on the street, there are so many variables that you really can't align to. But training this way is going to help us, you know, conceptualize how we can take beginnings of techniques, graft into the other ones, but use that activation. Okay? Yeah. All right. So we're going to walk it through. Brandon's coming at me. We use 5 swords, but meanwhile, Sean is coming at me from over here. All right. So what can we use in 5 swords that's already the beginning of a circular strike, right? How can we elongate a circle that we've already started, and at the same time, mass attacks, right? We want to put him down, we want to put him down. They are not going to be stopping. I'm in extremely close combat. At the beginning of this, when I was talking to my father, he was like, well, I want to explain to people that in mass attacks, we don't want to get flanked, right? So we're going to be keeping the apex of the triangle. Here's the funny thing, and this, Dad, I hope you're listening. Dad was like, how many points out a triangle, Britt? 3. Who's at the apex of the triangle? Everyone. Okay, so what do we do in our apex, right? We want to absolutely dominate, take control of the situation, and use the implosion, explosion, contraction, what am I looking for? Expansion, thank you. And continue moving through. Okay, so let's see. All right, so coming at me? Yep, yeah, nice and slow. Sure. Right, so if I'm here, if I really drop him, and he's continuing, right? I can use unstrung frame. We can use 4 or 5 swords if I need to, but I can keep going. Right? Make sense? Okay. Any questions? Try working it through. If you're on your own, what I want you to do is imagine that you've got someone swinging at you this way, right? And just practice stepping in, drop. We've got a rich hand coming this way, hand sword, and we're going to go this way. Cool. All right. Let's try now. And I'm here to answer any questions as they're going through it. Okay. And we're at 10:22. Okay. So Sean, nice and slow. Right, and coming in, drop. So what you want to do, look at your targets, right? Make sure this is nice and tight, and this is flowing through. Okay. What I want you to do is continue this on a downward angle, right on the solar plexus. Yep, drop it straight in. There you go. As you use your lowercase, drop. There you go. Okay, try it again. Yeah, there you go. Don't be afraid to drop them. Yeah, okay. Yep. Nice. Everybody see that? If my face had been there, that would have hurt a lot. Brandon, did you feel that?
I did.
All right, cool. Can I do it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, something else, as we're doing this, please, right, is I have options of the knife versus, we could do this, the same with both ways, right? And as it comes, it's drop, it could be knife, it could be fist. The other thing is I have the option here of the concept of surveying, right, what we call, where as my body's moving this way, I can start to, in my, as my zone of obscurity moves into my peripheral, I can see this attack, and I can also step off to it to plant myself now in an angle where the opportunities are more available. Right? Yep.
Yep.
We're done.
Yep. Oh, Keenan, right? All right. How do you guys go? Nice. Good.
Step off.
Yep.
Yep.
Keep that hands over. Nice. Now really drop.
Oh.
Nice. Good. Get that one back in, what you can use.
Look like this.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so you keep your eye on him. You can do your rear prods as you're looking where you're going. But the whole idea, every single block has to become strike, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah. Pardon? Yep, let's give you guys a few minutes to work on it, and we'll come back to another concept in just a minute. Moving it back and forth. We'd love to see you guys working it through. All right.
So Brittany,
Yes, sir.
so this disrupting the attack in the mindset
Mhm.
by cutting the circle is exactly just like swinging pendulum, moving into so it doesn't matter what level, like whether it's height zone, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Is that correct?
It is correct. I had another idea, another concept too, about how mass attacks, in my mind, right, are baked in. The ability to work through a mass attack are baked in from the beginning in our curriculum. The idea, like, let's take unfurling crane, for example, or let's further define what a mass attack is, right? So in Kempo, we've referred to mass attacks as more than one person, okay? However, more than one person, what about more than one strike attacking us at a time? I think that there's, I know for me, I get nervous when I think, oh God, what if I have to fight more than one person? What if I have to, do that? And I have, but when I have had those situations happen, everything's zeroed out. And my body took over into the muscle memory that it had from our training, because honestly, we're using upper, lowercase in absolutely everything that we're doing in and throughout all of our zones, right? We're canceling height, width, and depth, especially at higher levels in our training. When we're faced with multiple attacks, multiple strikes, it's really what I want people to think about. Don't think of it as many people, right? We're two people. Think of it as, okay, we've got an uke, he's got 4 arms and 4 legs. What do we need to do to continue to use upper, lower, middle case and move forward? And I'm going to say apex of the triangle, but if we are flanked, right, where are we going to go? So continue to dominate our point of the triangle and survey. The other idea behind mass attacks, and this is not a wonderful place to be mentally, but as martial artists, we need to get used to the idea of it. When we're in the dojo, right, and we're working technique lines, we're teaching our students, we're not using excessive force. In fact, we're training them, use your control. Don't hit the knees, don't hit the throat. However, if you look at yellow belt, right, sword and hammer, there's a very real morality mindset check that happens here, right? Because it's one of the techniques that happens early in our training where we're not stepping back to defend ourselves, right? Because in yellow, we want to teach our students how to get out of danger, right? So we're stepping back, we're getting used to, but in sword and hammer, we're not just blocking, we're going straight for a lethal strike, okay? Again, it's not a great place to be, but on the street, we cannot assume that our attacker is going to stop or our attackers are going to stop. They mean to hurt us. They mean to take something from us. They mean to put us down. When we have that mindset of like, okay, I mean to put you down, sometimes you can end a mass attack before it happens by posture, by taking out the first person that comes your way and asking, you want this too? Believe me, I've done it. I had to pull a friend out of a pool hall once. There were very, very large people that were very angry. But the difference between me and them was I had the mindset of, look, I know that I'm small. I know I'm gonna get hit, but you're gonna get hit much harder and you are gonna get hurt much worse than I am. Do you want to do this? And it was a resounding no. Please go take your friend. That's not going to happen every time. And the other thing about mass attacks, what we do as martial artists, right? Just because we can doesn't mean that we should, right? There are very real reasons why Brandon and I don't go up to Prescott Whiskey Row, go drinking, right? And then advertise, hey, we're also martial artists. I mean, that is just a recipe for disaster. So a lot of keeping yourself safe on the street, a lot of in teaching our students, right, about what it is that we're doing, the lethal force that we can execute, is also training them how to respect themselves, respect their environments, check their egos, keep themselves alive. Because the other thing that we have to remember is we got to get home, and who are we coming home to and why? Why are we important? Just because we can take the hits, just because we know how to fall, just because we think we can survive it, doesn't necessarily mean that we can or should. So open to questions. You guys want to work that through again? I know we had a question come up in chat. Oh, thank you, Mr. Hiller. I appreciate that. Yeah, we thought that this was fun. Again, I'm a smaller person and it's so easy for people to say like, oh, well, she's Master Tatum's daughter, or, he's going to give it to me.
I'm 220 pounds and she absolutely stops my roundhouse punch in its tracks and I see a flash of light.
Yes, and that's the disruption. So let's work it through again. This time, let's see what grip of death might look like in this situation, okay? Because that's another question that we get. It's like, all right, we're outside, we're working on the outside, you have room to go. But what happens when your height, width, and your breathing are compromised and you've got an attacker coming at you? Let's see how this could work. We're going to walk it through. Sean, you should come over here. Brandon, you're going to grab me and grip the death, right? You're carrying the camera. Right, let's get it. Okay. All right. So as Brandon comes, right, obviously I don't want to wait for him to get that grip of death on me. So I am going to fall in. I'm going to pin in here. But we've got a very real problem where I'm dealing with possibly being compromised in my posture. Even if he does get to here, what if Sean is coming this way? All right, so how can I lift, right? Implode, explode, and continue to make it so that I can live. All right? Any questions on that? We're gonna work it through. Yeah, show you. All right. So everything comes in, right? And don't wait. So the other thing is that on the street, nobody is gonna go, oh, she's almost done with the technique. Now I should go. Right? Let's try and make it as real as possible. If I go down, I go down. Let's try and make it work. Ready? Okay, go. Right? And that was real. No. Want to try it? Okay.
Same concept, granting contraction, elongating the circle.
Elongate the circle. I'm gonna have to jump. to get you. Here. I'll get you. Yep. I'll tell you what, stop. After that, if I'm silly enough to try and put him in a headlock and he throws me off of him like that, what's that gonna do to my other attackers? I think it's gonna make them think twice, right? Sean, you wanna try it? And you guys, if you're working this through at home, try and make it as real as possible. Haha, thank you, Mr. Jeff. I appreciate that. All right. Let's go nice and slow. All right, hold on. Lowercase. This knee, right into that curve. Yep, because we want to disrupt his mindset here. Suddenly, he's collapsing. So even though your depth is compromised, sorry, your height is compromised, what we're gonna do, we're gonna weaponize, right? Use our lowercase, disrupt his idea that he wants to hurt you right there. You execute, strike to his kidney and strike to his groin, right? Because number one, the chokehold, what do we want to establish? Breathing,
Yes.
right? All right, keep going. There we go. Yeah, right. Okay, let's just try that. What we can do is as we're here, as we're imploding, expanding, we can use shielding hammer as a way. We can couple the shielding hammer as we explode behind us. Line reinforcement, right? So as we're exploding this way, we're reinforcing our line this way and we're monitoring. If we have to, right? Hopefully we've disrupted this, maybe break that arm. If he's getting back up, we can still reinforce our line this way, but we've created enough distance. And hopefully put his face within range of a kick or worse. All right, so let's try. Nice, right? So I'm here. Down. Get back, you're across. If you need to continue, right? Now you've got targets of opportunity. If he tries to get up, right? You can stomp the groin, go in. And again, it's not pretty. It is excessive force. But hopefully you get to go home that night and
Yes.
they have a change of life choices. Right? Okay, Keaton, you want to give a try? Okay, Sean, would you be me? And I'll continue to answer questions if anybody has any feedback.
Yep.
All right. Yep, and don't wait. Yep.
And then into shielding hammer.
You're shielding him. Stay low. Right?
Good. You do it again, no. You come slow.
Nice, nice, very nice. Let's try that again. I want you to stay really low in your stance, okay? Sean, move a little bit. Come on. Nice. Whoa, nice, that's all right. All right, try it again, try it again. Make it real. Yeah, now. Do what you need to do, shuffle forward, right? Doesn't have to be a technique, but use the weapons that you know. Where are your targets of opportunity here, right? You can take something with you on his face, right? Okay, you can, now that he's off balance, what I would do, you can sweep the leg, right? Continue moving towards your dad, right? Exactly, nail that punch, and you can, if you need to, yep, and keep your eye on him. There you go. Let's try that again. Okay. Awesome. Keenan just got his yellow belt a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations, Keenan. He has not done these techniques before. We have throwing him into the fire, and he's doing great. So let's see you do it again. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. I want you to go through. Okay. Keep your eye on him. That's all right. Let's try it again. This time, keep going. Okay. Use your heels. Yeah, he's not down again. Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay? Just remember that when you have somebody that you've left behind, don't assume that they're down.
Yeah.
So, right, so as we're walking through, right? Right? Right. I'm trying to keep, and I'm constantly upper, lower, middle case, using what I might need to do to put my full body weight behind every strike. So for context, I'm 5'4". This morning, I think I was 147 pounds. I'm trying. I'm not embarrassed. I'm trying to give you guys some very real out of breath context into what I'm using as my own weapons and why it's so important, right? Because Brandon is 6'2" and 220 pounds. His arm swing. I mean, if I don't, I'm done. The other thing is, again, and grab me if I don't block you. Okay. Right. Now, I'd have to use some kind of heel stomp. Again, I'm trying to get my breathing, but he comes in. And I don't even have to off angle if I don't want to. I could use a sweep. But that right there makes him question coming in to begin with. Okay. Hey, Dad. Oh, we've got some chats going on. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Southwell. Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Beautiful. All right. We are just about at the end of our seminar. Looks like Dad's smiling. Dad, how are you doing? He's not hearing me. That's okay. Does anybody have any questions? Feedback? Have you been working this through at home? How does it feel?
Awesome job, Brittany. Awesome job.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let's see. So, takeaways, right, from this. Using our blocks as offensive strikes and mass attacks, okay? Elongating our circles, right? So just because we're used to the 5 swords, right, getting to the rest of the technique, what if we take these and we use this as a survey opportunity, as a way of creating a perimeter, right? What else? What else do we get from this? Brandon.
Yeah, so we have the activation, right? What if the first block was the only point of contact you get before the next attacker comes?
Yeah.
Let's make sure it works, right? Let's not see it as just the means to the next step, but the means to the end of I'm getting home tonight or this morning and who I need to get home for. So the activation, the body structure, feeling our our skeletal structure, what muscles are being activated, and take your time. We can feel that in the forms. We can feel that in the sets, and they develop in the basics and then into the techniques. And I know it sounds like something very basic, but it gets as advanced with you, right? And it's been my experience. Two is, as she said, the surveying opportunities, and we can take all of our techniques and look for opportunities of where our body is flowing and how we can survey what would always potentially be a mass attack. And as she said, it's really built into the curriculum, right? In the system, I should say, in that even in the beginning as white belts, yellow belts, we learn to cross out, but we learn to cross out in a direction that puts us at a potentially safer place, right? Should there be another attacker. And then the elongating the circles, our outward blocks of coming into a down, which gives us more of a striking posture. Up, which gives us a shield, which then lends into the next weapon. So lots of different nuggets there that we can take and apply to all of our techniques.
Absolutely. All right, last chance for some questions. Let's see here. Oh, Keenan, you got a congratulations on earning your yellow belt. Patience, dedication, hard work pays off. Thank you, Mr. Hiller. Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Hall. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Diane. Awesome. Awesome. One day we'll meet in person. All right. So from our family to yours, remember first rule of surviving combat, and I learned this from my dad, is don't be there. Make good choices.
Well, that's wonderful. Let's give Brittany a big hand.
All right. Great job.
Yes, excellent.